Welcome to Isis in the Bible, the first winter gathering, week number 1, Jubilee. The question for today is, what does Jubilee mean to you? A Jubilee is often associated with celebration, renewal, and a fresh start, but its meaning can vary deeply depending on personal experiences and perspectives, which we got to hear from everybody's, and we'll put comments when we edit the video. It could represent freedom, a time of joy, or even a call to unity. But what does Jubilee mean to you? Let's explore this timeless concept together. Glad you could join us today. So the word Jubilee has deep roots that trace back to ancient languages and traditions, each adding a layer of meaning. It originates from the Hebrew word Yovel, meaning ram's horn or trumpet. In ancient Israel, remember that's Isis, Ra, and Father Time, the Jubilee year was announced by sounding of the ram's horn. And remember, the ram is Aries, and Mother Mary, or Eris, she's in Aries right now. So the sounding of the ram's horn is signaling a year of release, forgiveness of debts, and restoration of land and freedom. The root YBL also carries the sense of to bring forth or to lead, connecting the idea of Jubilee to renewal and rightful restoration. From the Hebrew term entered Latin as jubileus, where it took on the added meaning of joy and celebration through its connection to the Latin word of jubilo, meaning to shout for joy. As it moved into Old French and eventually Middle English, Jubilee came to signify a time of great celebration, often marking special anniversaries or significant periods of renewal and joy. At its heart, the word Jubilee encapsulates the idea of joyful release, a time to rejoice, reset, and renew, whether understood spiritually, culturally, or personally. The concept of the Jubilee carries profound significance as a period of liberation, reflection, and celebration. So that's Jubilee. So let's talk about what's happening in the sky. Well, Eris goes direct, which is the true Happy New Year on January the 11th. More about that in a moment. Important is the Hygeia aligns Eris, aka Isis, aka Virgin Mary, coupled with Pluto, God the Father, with Icarus, your wings. So if you're not following the astrology, but just listen to the words, because it's important. As we know, Hygeia is the goddess of cleanses. She gives full body kundalini or chakra cleanses. And we know that when we have these phoenix risings, we have the 7 scorpions of Isis, the 7 plagues. So it just means it's cleansing, it's removing the muddy waters out of our body. So for the 3rd time now, she went across Eris, back, and then for the 3rd time she meets tomorrow. So people are already reaching out and they're having these full body experiences. It all depends on your chart. So if you feel them, and if it's for the third time, everything is right with you. You're just cleaning your waters, making you become more loving. So it's a beautiful thing. And tomorrow, here's a beautiful thing. And we're going to talk more about some people and Icarus. Icarus is the winged one, the boy who flew too close to the sun, burning his wings, come crashing down. So it's really important in order for you to retain your wings. In other words, whatever you manifest comes a reality. That's Psalm 82:6. I said, you are all gods, right? So the wings and Pluto is very significant because Pluto represents God the Father and Icarus, your wings. And I'll show you how these wings play in people's charts. This is very significant. So for people tomorrow, they're going to experience either gaining wings or losing wings. Again, it depends on their chart. The notable mention is on February 7th, the North Node then meets with Neptune. This is high energy, and it's already in eclipse position now, so people are really feeling Neptune brings pain, electricity, the need for grounding, lightning, static electricity, shocks. That's what Neptune brings, very, very high energy. And because it's on a north-south node, which means the head and the body, right? So this is the magician and the chariot. So you can definitely so between this happening, your wings, and getting this excess energy from Neptune, it's a great, great cleanse for you. So that's those alignments. And I just want to remind you that we've been talking about part of the Jubilee is here. Look at in the late 30s and early 40s, a time of significance where people were gaining abundance and losing abundance. It had a lot of mass karmic effects. So that was from May 1940 to March 1941. Uranus went back and forth through its retrograde motion across the cusp of Aries and Taurus. That's Taurus, the bull. That's Juno, or Mary Magdalene's home. So that a lot of earthen mothers are out there, and they are. And Peggy can vouch for that. There's a lot of earthen mothers out there that are going to shake up the municipalities. This is all part of it. This is all part of the Jubilee. So Uranus will be crossing for the third time in March of 2025. So all these alignments are all happening as the Jubilee's happening. Please don't follow somebody in the media that's going to try to take the credit for the whole thing, because it's you and your world and what you're doing to exude love, do the forgiveness process, as we've been talking about, because it's your world. Nobody else is going to save you, only you can. And everybody in this group I know is 100% doing it the right way. So it's the true happy new year is when Eris, Isis, Madonna, whatever you want to call her, when she goes direct, because she goes retrograde and direct, almost a 6-month split. So January 11th, I am your crown. She's in the crown. So it's time to high five. The mystery of life is unfolding for the masses, a true time to celebrate, a spiritual celebration. The whole world is awakening. So if you take out the 10 days that the Vatican added in 1582, she's here on January the 1st. January 11th is January the 1st, and she goes direct. And that means when a planet goes retrograde, you go inward, thinking about everything you've done, and then you go and walk the walk, talk the talk in a beautiful, loving way. So this image here, which I found while I was looking up things about Jubilee, in Mexico City, the arrival, this is in 2013, the Angel of Independence. So there's another Jubilee statue that's celebrated on New Year's. Well, she is going direct on New Year's Day, when, like I said, when you take the 10 days out of the calendar, when you put them back, they removed them in 1582. The Vatican did that. So there's just an image showing that she went direct, retrograde, and back direct again on January the 11th. It's a cycle. And she's going back and forth in the crown chakra. So signs are getting clearer and clearer. So keep that crystal ball in your head, that space very clear. So for this New Year's and coming up on January the 11th, it would be really cool if we do this. If you want, you can go to iyoutome.com under intentions, okay? And you'll see the 42 spiritual laws. What these are very powerful, positive mentions, intentions that you can use to say that of who you are. I relate in peace. I keep the waters pure. I speak with good intent. I praise the goddess and the god. These are just beautiful intentions. It's great to do these. These are simple tools to reach liberation, enlightenment, Brahman, Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it. The stars are providing the timing, and the timing is now. Just go with the flow. And of course, the 5-step forgiveness process is also found on the website if you ever need it. A quick mention, the beautiful full moons are on cusps right now. So all this whole time, because they shift as they go across where the full moons are. But right now, every other one is on a cusp. So when I mean a cusp, that's the energetic fifth. This is like the circle of fifths in music. These are amplified harmonies. So they really do mean a lot. So this one on January 14th coming up is going to be right over Farafra in Egypt. It's really cool because Eris is going to be setting at that time. So if you're there in Egypt and the full moon is right overhead. So I'll show you this in a second, but we're starting to follow where the full moons are, where they're going to be exactly overhead. We're going to have to bend your neck back 90 degrees to see where the full moon is. So that's when we come to notice that the full moon 2 months ago and this month and 2 months from now will always be on a cusp. So the energies are really, really invigoratingly high. So in Farfara in Egypt, look what we got. It's a hidden gem in the Western desert, offering travelers a surreal journey into the heart of nature's artistry. Famous for its white desert, visitors can expect breathtaking chalk and sandstone rock formations sculpted by millennia of wind erosion, resembling mushrooms, animals, and abstract shapes. The desert's outwardly beauty is especially starking at sunrise and sunset, when the landscape glows with pastel hues. Just wanted to show you that we're going to look at where all the full moons are going to be, where it would be directly overhead. One a couple months ago was in something forest, just near Cat there in California. And here's the one before. You can see 15th of November, it was also on a cusp. So very energetic. And again, that's when, look at Hygeia. So some people's chart are really feeling these, and they don't understand why they're feeling these energies. This is a snapshot of the verification for the routines we made up to locate the moon directly overhead. Like that. So I want you guys to imagine with our new personal flying machines, we can go and witness these beautiful moments where the moon is directly overhead. So I thought I'd throw that in there because we're going to get these. I don't know if it's going to look like that, but hey, that's what AI came.
Album cover of what band is that?
Boston.
Yes.
Right. And me and Neil went there. See Boston. All right.
I need my glasses. It looks cool.
Okay, so another alignment that's coming up on February the 1st, really important for those that want to understand what's happening in the stars, is Hygeia then for the third time goes over Andromeda Galaxy. And Andromeda Galaxy is that which separates the chains. Look at this alignment here, folks, on that day. Do you see that? The moon, the north node that I spoke about earlier, Venus, and Neptune. All on the day that Hygeia releases the woman in chains. It's all happening in the sky, folks. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And look at the black moon. Black moon brings deep spiritual signs. Is on the harvest line at Spica. I know this doesn't mean much to you because you don't follow the stars, but these alignments are biblical, absolutely biblical. And because go ahead.
Andromeda, the one camel of the desert, is called in Dutch dromedaris. So and is a shortage of man, Adam on a seat. So it's a tale that you have to get a load of fanny to go through the eye of the needle. I think that's in that.
You're 100% right. It's all related.
Losing your baggage, go through the eye of the needle. Let go what you have to let go of.
Awesome. Thanks, Lex. Yes. 100%. And these energies are gonna make us feel like we're being pushed through the eye of the needle. You can very easily go through the eye of the needle if your waters are pure, but if they're not pure, if you're not doing the 42 intentions, if you're not doing the 5-step forgiveness process, understanding that you are the one that create your world. Nobody else is. You are. Everybody else is your guide. It's your world. You are Horus. You are.
I want to say something to that since for a few. The 5 steps of forgiveness, I want people to think a little bit more outside of the box of going inward, because I've had a lot of resentment towards other people because I couldn't get them to help do some great things. And my forgiveness is accepting them and kind of moving forward in a sense where I would just sit there and I'm stuck with them because I'm stuck with them. So I've kind of, in the last few days, put it to myself that if I have to leave people behind me in my life to continue my journey, and it could be as close as my child, relative, it's going to be that way. So that 5 steps of forgiveness is forgiving others along with yourself. If you're, if you did something that you shouldn't have done, and you're dealing with that as well.
Right, but don't forget the first step, Chris. The first step is asking for forgiveness, because they're only repaying you what you've done. If we don't ask for forgiveness, it will keep showing up. And then if we say we're going to leave them behind, and somebody else will just show up and do the same thing until we realize that it's something that we have to ask for forgiveness. It's law of attraction. If we don't ask for forgiveness, then we don't realize that we're the God that created it. We're the one that created it. We're the one that threw the pebble in the pond. The first step is to ask for forgiveness. Many people are changing their whole life, and the ones that won't ask for forgiveness to those people are the ones that it's happening to them over and over and over again. We can get into that more after, but please, if you got something else you want to bring up, please do.
Oh, I understand. I'm just kind of saying that, not letting what other people, if other people have let you down and you're not feeling loved by them in that sense, what I was getting at is just kind of picking your pants up and keep going forward with that, of forgiving yourself. What's the quote? Serenity prayer. Lord, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Right.
In that sense.
Right, but what's missing on that prayer is please forgive me for the one that's created it. If we don't realize that, it won't go away. We're the one that create the waves. Psalm 82:6 says, "Ye are all gods." You're all gods. We all throw back. Go ahead, Peggy.
I just want to add to the conversation, just from the sense of when you've been teaching us about these levels of forgiveness. I just want to share with everybody that I really struggled with thinking I had to physically be in the room in this process. So even just the physical and logistics, and I just couldn't get past that. And I was very blessed to be able to talk to Claudio and present this. And he explained it so clearly. It's not about being in the same physical space, but it's putting us in the same space as the person that we're going to ask for forgiveness. And the words are simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be genuine. And you have to genuinely say, and for me, I'm sorry that I haven't been the best mother or friend or any of those things, depending on who you're talking to. And really been very genuine with myself. And the first time I did it, and I was finished, I was in absolute tears. I just felt that it's the right thing to be doing right now. So I just want to share that it's not that first step. Even if you can only get to that first step, you don't have to be in the same room, but you have to bring them into your space and into your loving energy and genuinely ask them for their forgiveness. So I just want to share that because I've had some phenomenal results. Thank you.
What I want to add to it is that it helped me greatly when Claudio said, imagine that they are also speaking those 5 steps of forgiveness to you. Because somehow speaking those lines of forgiveness made me feel like I had to carry that load. And it's a kind of spiritual ego that takes that on. And when I started to imagine they say it to me, it changed. It changed to everybody did what they did before love came to town. And we have to forgive everyone and ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, so this is the true meaning of Andromeda, breaking the chains. It's the divine feminine, the divine love with each and every one of us. It won't get, it's trying to be released. That pure innocent child within us wants to come out and play. It wants to be in that loving world again. And it's happening. It's absolutely happening. These alignments are so beautiful. It's our human experience is becoming more spiritual. So February 1st, more and more of us are going to feel this 100%. And thank you for bringing that up, Peggy, because it is really important that, and even that, Lex, I jump into both my grandparents and watch them do it to each other. Because it's a Hatfields and a McCoys. Everybody needs to do it. That's why it's the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius is John the Baptist, and John the Baptist is the one that did what? Did the forgiveness, right? Did the baptismal waters, which is written on the Egyptian walls. So February 1st, so this is the 3rd time. So now I've already presented this twice before, and look how much more engaged everybody is, because that energy is real and it's bringing it to a surface. So it's the 3rd time now, and we're going to all release, because we're all going to get it. Because we're all pebble throwers. We're all throwing all those pebbles in the water, and the waves are all over the place, right?
Breaking the chains that bind us.
Exactly. And only love can do it.
You got it.
So let's talk about your wings and its relationship with Jubilee, aka liberation, spiritual sovereignty. We can only become sovereign with this process. So that's a scene on the Egyptian walls with the weighing of the heart. So we've proven to you that it's in people's chart when their wings get the best of them. This is Jay Leno's. This is Jay Leno's chart. And you can see that his wings are there with Vesta of the Vestal Virgins, with Mother Mary, and the North Node. So when he had 2 incidences in 2022 and 2023 wrapping around the new year, which we did his chart and showing that his wings are not being used. Or if you're using your wings for materialistic reasons, why do I keep bringing this up? Because we're going to get access to a whole bunch of pixels. In other words, whatever you imagine you're going to get. But if you don't use your wings properly, you're going to wonder why you crash and burn. So we wanted to show you some examples of crash and burn. And because Alfredo shared this beautiful image that they have in Mexico of, look at Mother Mary stepping on the one with the wings. And look at what he has. He has the potential of Mother Mary stepping on his wings. And it's happening to him. And if he doesn't change his ways, which he will, because everybody will get sign after sign after sign until they finally get it, they'll submit to love and start sharing more than hoarding, right? So I thought let me bring in another, because Kathy was telling me that a whole bunch of celebrities are losing their money. Well, it gets back to what we just talked about, right? With this whole process of Uranus, that we showed that it's a cycle. This cycle is real, all right? Other astrologers can't see this because they're off by 23 degrees. So if you do it, what's written on the Egyptian walls, then you're going to see all these beautiful cycles. So this young man, so I just picked this one because in 2010, he had the IRS come up and raid his house. Well, on that day, okay, so you've heard me talk about Lilith, right? Lilith is a temptress, so she's temptations versus gift giving. So on that day, there's Lilith. The guy that made this chart used to be a black moon with a cross on it. He's changed the image for some reason, but Lilith is aligned Mars exactly on that day. That's a fight. So there's a war going on, but Lilith has started it. because she's taken away from him because obviously he's doing shit that he shouldn't be. There's Neptune. Okay, there's Icarus. There's Neptune on his past. Okay, so there's Mercury. That's the scribe, right? The scribe of all his actions, his waters. But here it is right here. The moon is aligned Pallas because he's very well known. So in community, and Chiron the wounded healer, and there is Pallas square in his natal chart. There's his wings. So he's getting his wings tested. He's saying, hey, what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your love? What are you doing with your desires? What are you doing materialistically? It's all there. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I could go on and show you all kinds of them, but I don't do them myself because I don't need to. So I just wanted to show you the tsunami that hit Piura, Peru on December 27th, 2024. This is the image for Immaculate Conception and birthing, the part of fortune. It's basically calculations of the sun, the moon, and the ascendant, what rises in the east. So I just wanted to show you these waves. So on December 27th, 2024, Peru's northern coastline experienced unusually large tsunami-like waves. They're not calling it tsunami because they didn't see an earthquake. We'll show you why, though. In which the cause is not known, but we'll show you. The phenomenon resulted in the closure of 91 out of 121 ports, flooding in coastal areas, and damage to fishing boats and infrastructure, leave the fish alone, particularly in Lobitos, Mancora, and Cabo Blanco. Beaches were temporarily closed to ensure public safety, and neighborhood Ecuador reported only one fatality in the city of Manta. Look at these waves, watch this.
¡Se lo llevan! ¡Chucha! ¡No! ¡Se lo llevan! ¡Chucha! ¡No!
Here's the reason, folks. Watch this. So I got details from YouTube's Geology Hub, and I plotted the charts on the lands because don't forget the stars map the lands. It's really evident. And note that Sarah is in part of fortune. Okay, so Sarah's is the harvester, and part of fortune is aligned, right? And oh, by the way, Sarah's is in the 11th house, which is Aquarius. And here's Aquarius was rising, Aqua. Water, forgiveness. We get all kinds of signs from the stars, but most importantly, this thing rotates, right? Because it's time. So one day it goes around. Mother Mary, exactly on that location, exactly at that time, exactly to the minute. 11:09 a.m. and this chart is for 11:09 a.m. So Mother Mary is showing her force. It's not a literal burst person. It's loving energy that's going to show us that we have to submit to love. And man is not controlling the waters. Man is not controlling the sea level. Man is trying to pretend like he's doing it because he's making money while he's doing it. So if we think man has got control of this, not a chance. Impossible. And I'm showing you the proof. And I'll show you, this is going to be really cool. So this is only a couple minute song that Kat sent, but it's very synchronistic. This girl is awake. It's about Jubilee and Isis's return. Thanks, Kat. So then I'll share something with you that's really cool right after this is done.
I remember where I came from, I remember my truth, connected to the heavens with deep solid roots. What a gift to be awake as we enter the golden age. The wisdom of the temples, the arts that got lost, stolen and abused, while worshippers of the dark, they are reclaimed by the priestesses of the golden age. I call upon Mary Magdalene. is another divine feminine. Bless us with your teachings. May we receive your grace while weaving ancient and future in the golden age. Everything I've been through, the fires of hell, got me on the path, initiated once again, and I embrace my role as a leader in the golden age. I call upon Mary Magdalene. Isis another divine feminine. Bless us with your teachings. May we receive your grace while weaving ancient and future in the golden age.
What a beautiful song. I'd love to show her connections to the stars. So here's the thing. So Kat sends me this song at 8:35 a.m. my time. When I listened to the song, I went back and looked at the time she sent it to me because it struck me, because, you know, we follow Isis and in astrology and everything else. So at that exact time, so here's my chart, Claudio Salvaggi, 8:35 a.m. The moon is exactly aligned with Mother Mary. There she is. Okay, that's Isis. She's talking about Isis, right? And there's Hygeia, right? So the moon's aligned there. And then also there's Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene was exactly overhead for me, right overhead, due south, right on my wings. Okay, so Kat sent this to me at that exact time. So you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. It's so beautiful. It's here. And when you do your work, you keep doing your work, you keep doing your forgiveness process to everything that comes into your life, you state your intentions, you know who you are, then these keep coming. They keep coming. They keep coming because it's law of attraction. You're allowing that vortex of love to come your way. It's absolutely beautiful. And that's all we have for today.